Hello, and welcome to the Vaping Hunt. I appreciate you taking the time to view this video, as it has several pieces of information that are key to the Vaping Hunt that you will want to bring yourself up to speed on. The Vaping Hunt is a program that I created a few years ago to find a better way of bringing customers to the booths of vendors at large vape events. Given the current FDA regulations, the Vaping Hunt is even more important now than ever at doing just that. Because of the limitations set forth by the government for how we can go about sampling our e-liquids, for example, the Vaping Hunt is a key element in providing solutions for those problems. What we're doing specifically for the solution at vape events for the sampling issue is we will be purchasing in bulk all of the samples from all of the vendors at the venue at a particular rate that is fair and reasonable for the sampling cost that's involved. We will then be including each of the vendors that are in the vape event in the Vaping Hunt booklet, which gets handed out to people, the consumers, at the event. On the back of the Vaping Hunt booklet, there will be a list of all of the participating vendors that have e-liquid to sample. Along with the name of each vendor will be 10 checkboxes, which will be used for being accountable to how many samples each person is allowed per purchased booklet. And that's a key piece of information. We will be buying all the sampling from the vendors, and we will be selling the Vaping Hunt booklet to the consumers at a reasonable cost of just $3, so that the transactions between the consumers and the vendors are fair and equitable, and also dependable in terms of adhering to the regulations that the FDA has set forth for us. According to the FDA, we must now charge for sampling of our e-liquids, and by doing this with the Vaping Hunt, by being included as a vendor in the Vaping Hunt, and by the Vaping Hunt purchasing those samples from the vendors and then selling the rights to be able to sample to the consumers at a nominal cost for this booklet, we enable the consumers to be able to sample from the vendors, to stay within the boundaries of the new legislation that's set forth by the deeming regulations, or by the federal regulations more appropriately. And we do it all in an upfront, clean and clear fashion. So that's how the sampling is going to work at the vape events. Every vendor, as I said, will be included on the Vaping Hunt event card, on the back of the card, and probably into the second page of the card, or the second page from the back. Each vendor will have their name and 10 check boxes listed next to their name, which they will be able to indicate a number of samples that the consumer has tried at their booths. If for some reason the vendor chooses, rather, if for some reason the consumer chooses to try more than 10 samples, they will need to purchase an additional Vaping Hunt booklet. That is 10 samples per vendor, not 10 samples total. So each and every vendor will be allowed to sample up to 10 times to each and every consumer that has purchased a Vaping Hunt booklet, and those transactions again are completely transparent, and receipts will be provided for both of the transactions. So what is the Vaping Hunt? The Vaping Hunt is a program that we put together several years ago because we wanted to find a better way of attracting consumers to our booth without utilizing some of the more controversial methods, such as stripper poles and, booth babes, that kind of thing. We wanted to find a way of attracting customers and consumers to our booths in a way that we could be proud of, and quite frankly that the media would be able to report on without a negative side effect to what vaping is. So we created this program called the Vaping Hunt. Essentially what it is vendors who are participating in the Vaping Hunt by purchasing information blocks within this booklet for their company. The consumers will take this booklet around with them, look for the vendors that are in this booklet. Here's an example of the booklet here. So this was an example of the Vaping Hunt booklet for the Syracuse, New York event. Front page there. And as you open the booklet, there's a map of the event, and then the various information blocks for the various companies that have been included in this program. As you can see, this is a multi-page book, and on each page there are anywhere from 1 to 8 vendors listed in this high quality printed full color booklet brochure. So what the consumer does is they take this booklet around with them through the event. They look for the vendors that are listed on these pages, and they stop by the booth to talk with the vendors, perhaps sample their products, sample their e-liquid or sample their hardware, or simply have a discussion with them. In turn, the vendor stamps their card with a unique stamp punch tool that the Vaping Hunt provides to the vendors, and then at the end of the day, the consumer is able to turn this booklet in, or rather to show us this booklet, and for every completed page that they have in the booklet, and by completed page I mean a page that has all of the stamps for the vendors that are on that page, for every completed page in the booklet, the consumer will be given 1 raffle ticket. In the past, those raffle tickets were good for a raffle for free products, free vape-related products of the vendors that were included in the hunt. However, due to new regulations with the federal government, we are no longer able to give products away for free. So what we will be doing is still doing a raffle, and the people who win the raffle will have the opportunity to purchase a bag of vape-related products for a heavily discounted and very reasonably fair cost. So what that will be is $10. The typical contents of the bag, retail value, are anywhere from $300 to $600 for the products that are contained within the bag. They are random products, and the consumer will have the option to purchase a bag of products if they happen to be drawn in the drawing for the Vaping Hunt. We do offer several drawings with the Vaping Hunt for the products that are included. In past events, that number has been anywhere from 20 up to 30 or 40 bags of products. We try to limit the bags so that they're definitely chock full of value, so that it's something that's exciting for the consumer to have the opportunity to obtain. But at the same time, we don't want to give all the products to one person because we really do want to spread the love out to as many people as we can, and still make the day of the people that happen to have the opportunity to obtain one of those bags. It's unfortunate that we are not able to give these away for free this year, but it is what it is. We all have to comply with the regulations set forth by the government, and we're doing our very best to keep the Vaping Hunt an exciting program for both the consumers and the vendors alike. That's why it works. It gives the consumers an opportunity to spend time with the vendors, and it gives you as a vendor the opportunity to actually get your products in their hands. We all know that once a product is in the hands of a consumer and the consumer is able to try that product, the chances of purchase go up exponentially. And that's what the Vaping Hunt is all about. It's all about connecting consumers to high-quality vendors that have great products that just need an opportunity to get those products into the hands of the consumers in a fun and exciting way. That's what's nice about the Vaping Hunt as well, is that it gives the consumers the opportunity to do something at the event when they may have otherwise been walking around aimlessly. It kind of gives them a focus. So how is that focus accomplished? How do we separate the Vaping Hunt vendors from the rest of the vendors? This is an important key question to address. One of the things that we've always prided ourselves on with the Vaping Hunt is that we keep the registration for the Vaping Hunt relatively low in terms of the number of vendors that are allowed into the program at the event. The reason for this is that we want to bring the extra attention to the participating vendors of the Vaping Hunt so that they have good value for money spent for their informational blocks within the Vaping Hunt event booklet. That ratio typically is between 25 and 33% of the vendors. Obviously, this program wouldn't work if we allowed every vendor to be in the Vaping Hunt. Sure, we would make more money doing that, but it's not about the money to us. It's about the program. We really want to be able to deliver a high performance, high results program for the vendors that are participating, and we feel that the best way to do that is to limit the number of registration entrants allowed into the hunt, so that the ratio of participating vendors to not participating vendors is adequate enough so that the participating vendors do get that extra attention. And that's precisely what you get by being in the vaping hunt. Because the consumers will have this booklet on hand, they will be searching for the vendors that are participating at the event so that they can complete their cards, so that they can turn them in at the end of the event or at the end of each day in exchange for the raffle tickets. So how do we bring the attention to the vendors? This is another key piece of information that's important to the way that we operate the vaping hunt. In each of the booths of the participating vendors, we include a certain color of balloon, actually it's a balloon cluster, to indicate that that vendor is participating in the vaping hunt. By doing this, it makes it extremely simple for the consumer to be walking around the event and specifically seek out the vendors that are participating in the vaping hunt without actually having to find them in the book. Once they arrive at the vendor, then they're able to locate the vendor within the booklet, because the vendor would theoretically need to go to their page to stamp their product, or to stamp their informational block. The other thing that's great about this booklet is this goes home with the consumers. We do not collect this booklet at the end of each day. We simply confirm the punches on each of the pages, and then we hand the booklet back to the consumer so that the consumer can take this information home, which is a great way of getting your information as a vendor into the consumer's or customer's trip home, so that they can further investigate your company in the leisure and comfort of their own home. The Vaping Hunt has always prided itself for going above and beyond to make sure that the vendors are not only satisfied with this program, but the consumers are excited and satisfied with the program as well, and look forward to the next event. We are very proud to say that the vendors that have been included in the Vaping Hunt have given us an overwhelming positive response to the results of being in the Vaping Hunt, and the consumers that are at the events that participate in the Vaping Hunt absolutely love the program. One of the reasons that we get told often by the consumers that they love this program is because they were able to try vendors' products that they may have otherwise overlooked. Let's face it, these events are big. They have a lot of vendors in the venue, and sometimes that can be overwhelming to a consumer. Having something like the Vaping Hunt in place, which directs them specifically to vendors and gives them an opportunity to try the products of that vendor, is a fantastic way of breaking that ice and getting the consumers to try products that they may have otherwise overlooked. Long gone are the days of having to try to bring consumers to your booth using other alternative methods of attraction. This program delivers them to your booth for you. That's why the Vaping Hunt works so well. If you have any questions, I am not only the owner of the Vaping Hunt, again, it's a program that I created and operate. At the event itself, I am a vendor as well. That's why this program is equally as important to me as it is to you. The success of the Vaping Hunt, I feel, is vitally important to my success at the events. I take it with a great deal of responsibility and respect for the vendors and the consumers to deliver the very best program that we can possibly create to make sure that the event goes off well, and that all of the people involved, the vendors and the consumers, are equally as happy with the results of the Vaping Hunt. The consumers get an opportunity to experience some great vendors, and the vendors have an opportunity to attract customers to their booths without utilizing some of the more negative methods of bringing them to their booths. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am Jeremy Colvin. I am the owner and creator of the Vaping Hunt. You may contact me directly via my phone at area code 614-589-5999, or you can contact me via email at jeremy@vapinghunt.com. The website which you're on now is vapinghunt.com, and all of the information about the program and the costs involved are listed on this site as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.